My name's Mick. I concentrate on shrimp, mainly play with improving genetics in things. I like things that are a bit harder to find and stuff that's losing its quality. There's a lot of good breeders, but there's also a lot around that are not as good quality. So I'll work with other people with bigger rooms, get the lines down until they're looking good, and then give them to the people in the bigger rooms to breed them in quantity.
What specific shrimp are you breeding?
So mainly the cherries, just slowly bringing up the quality of stuff and getting some numbers up. I've also got a few projects with some African cichlids and stuff like that, yeah.
How long have you been keeping fish?
Fish, just over 20 years. Shrimp, about 14, 15. I walked into a shop probably, 25, 26 years ago and seen a convict, and it's nothing like convicts you see today. It was all like pretty and blue and yellow and green. I instantly bought a 5-foot tank and stupidly filled it with Americans, and that lasted great for about 6 months. And then, decided to start learning more, and I only moved into the industry about 5, 6 years ago.
What did you do before that?
Driving trucks. I was a plasterer at one stage.
Just well-rounded, just
anything I can. We'll start at this end, I suppose.
Sure.
That one is about a dozen Senegal birches that are living their best life in amongst the frog bit.
Oh yeah, you can see them all, like little snakes and worms. There's one out the front. So do you breed these ones, or?
No, a friend of mine breeds them. I help him with grow out and things like that.
How do you grow them out? Like, what do you feed them?
I let him get them up to sort of 6-7 centimetres, and then I switch them from blackworm over to a food that I'm making at the moment. And yeah, they seem to be loving it.
What type of food is it?
It's just one I make, pretty much a predator food. It's not been released yet or anything. Just pretty much everything I feed here, I make my own food for.
How long does it take for you to grow these ones out?
In the bigger tanks, not long at all, probably 8 months, 9 months to get to full size. I usually keep them for 2 months, and that gets them from sort of 6-7 centimetres up to this size, where they lose their gills and gain their armour plating.
So these tanks as well, they're like really quite deep. Like you can see they go, well, easily.
They're a metre.
Almost 4 feet, 3 feet back.
Yeah, so they're a metre by 500 and 300 deep.
So why do you have it so deep?
They're great for bristlenose grow out, lots of floor space, but yeah, the birches love it too. With shrimp, I can throw 100 shrimp in there, forget about it for 6 months, then I pull out 1,000. I find more footprint, you get better growth with a lot of your bottom dwelling fish.
So what do all these pipes up above the tanks as well do?
So they're the sump that's normally turned on. We're just running it on air at the moment. So that all runs back to down here. All the filtration happens there, and then the rest of it's basically water storage. So I've got 600 litres in there. I've got it set up so I can flick a valve and do a water change really quickly. I also sprout a lot of my vegetables and stuff out here for the aquaponics.
What do you got here?
That's just some standard lettuce and some Roma tomatoes.
Wow. So how long have they been planted for?
They started from seed, so they've probably been 4 weeks now.
And how long till you will be able to eat something?
Probably another 3 weeks, and
Wow.
they'll be ready to eat. Yeah, they grow ultra quickly in the water.
Yeah, I just planted some of these lettuce in my tanks, and like underneath a light, they just exploded.
Yeah, definitely.
You've got a chiller down here.
Yep, so that does 2,000 litres. I run it at about 25, 26, and then with the Africans, mainly the Americans that I've got on the system, I can trigger a spawn by just dropping the temperature 3 or 4 degrees and then lifting it back up.
From what I understand, shrimp don't really like the hot at all.
Cherry shrimp are fine. It's when you get into your caradinas, all your bee shrimp, fancy tigers, all that, they really don't like it over 24 degrees.
So, and then it overflows out the front here.
Yep.
Comes back down.
Comes back down.
Through the veggies.
Through the filter, and then that overflows into the actual sump area. Comes up the pump, gets split up, goes through the chiller and back into the sump, and then they go off to their separate areas. The next tank is a whole heap of bristlenose that are breeding, pretty much all commons.
Well, you got long fins here.
There's some long fin and short fin and all sorts in there. I'll let them breed, and then once 3 or 4 batches are in there, I'll pull the adults and just use it for grow out.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting way of doing it.
By then, these birches will be gone. They're in the next tank, and the bristlenose will come over here.
Yeah. Yeah, you got more birches in here.
Yeah, there's another dozen in that tank.
And you like using frog bit on the top, or?
Yeah, I like using the frog bit because it gives everything something to hide in amongst the roots, as well as, you know, having a bit of greenery in the room.
Definitely, and it helps filter out the water, I guess, too.
Yeah.
Cool. So, what we got in this one here?
So this one, that's just a pair of long fins in there hiding somewhere. I got some of the original bristlenose that threw L144s from one of my friends a few years back. So they're a common that they actually throw the 144s. It's just a case of separating them out and then line breeding, and yeah, that's where I have the fun in the hobby. So
you got some little shrimp in here too. These just Michelins, or?
There's shrimp in everything. They're probably culls.
Okay.
I've pulled over 1,000 shrimp out of this rack in the last 2 weeks. So the birches are in there to polish up any of the culls and stuff, and then I'll put some more breeders back in there.
100%. That's actually a really good idea, yeah. Like getting the birches to clean up for you. Do they call these sun-kissed? Or?
Sun-kissed, or yeah. A lot of people have, you know, names like sun-kissed and blue dream and stuff. If it's a blue shrimp, I call it a blue shrimp. If it's orange, I call it orange.
It's all to sell it.
Yeah, that's it. I'm not into the fancy names and stuff. Down the bottom, I've got some OB peacocks that I'm going to put a blue male with to try and get some blue back into them, because they're not the greatest looking OB peacocks I've ever seen. Next door is some VC10s that are growing out at the moment.
With these massive tanks, do you have issues trying to catch fish ever?
No, I just use a 1 foot wide net.
And you scoop?
And just, yeah, with these ones on the bottom, it's the whole tank comes in one scoop. And in these ones, it's pretty much 2 scoops in there.
Done.
Everything's out. Also, all these frog bits are one piece. So it just comes out as a clump. And
carpet of frog bit.
Yeah, makes it nice and easy. Yeah, don't trip over the puppy.
Hello. Good doggy.
Over this side is the shrimp side of things. That's just mixed culls and things that I'm not using at the moment. I go through them every now and then, and sometimes I'll pick a pair out of there to work with.
These are really cool, the carbon release.
Just started working with them. They're pretty cool.
Bro, these used to be like when I was a little kid, I had the big mum to get stuff for me. These are the one that I always wanted but never could get.
Any of the Rilly genes are very hard to keep a consistent sort of head and tail colour.
So what's a Rilly gene?
It's the gene that gives them the clear sections. So you'll see a lot of photos on the internet where you'll have like a perfectly red head and tail and the clear or white blue centre. That's probably a 1 in 1,000 shrimp.
Really?
Yeah, to get them genetics to hold true, me and a few mates tried for 10 or 12 generations and still couldn't get it to hold.
So this one here is still a carbon Rilly. It's got like a blue kind of base.
Yeah, so they'd be called a blue carbon Rilly, and with the clear, they're just a standard carbon Rilly. Pretty much everything in this rack I don't sell. I just use it to test foods and experiment with when I'll get new types of shrimp in.
Yep. So in here, what you've got? Black Project.
Black Project. So there's culls and everything in there, but if we look down in there, there's some nice blacks coming out.
They're jet black.
It's basically a case of getting the best girl and boy you can, and I'll separate them off into pairs and then see what they throw, and then from the next generation I'll grab the best again.
So you just start with a pair, see what happens?
Yep, if they throw badly, like these ones with the orange, throwing the orange and stuff, first I'll change the male, and if that doesn't work, I'll change the female.
And then what do you do about like the fry, I mean not the fry, like the shrimplets, when they start getting bigger, like, because they can start rebreeding pretty quick, can't they?
Yeah, so about 3 to 4 months. So it's a constant struggle.
Yeah.
There's orange-eyed red tigers. There's only some babies in there. I got a few off a mate and they disappeared. So they did drop babies first, so hopefully they'll grow through.
Really, really lucky with that, hey?
Yeah.
You do have planaria. Do planaria ever bother you?
No, not really.
Really?
No.
I've been so scared of getting planaria.
When you've only got a couple, it's not too bad. Usually once every 6 or 7 months, I'll run a panicure or a big L treatment through there.
So levamisole works to kill it too?
Yes, and it's shrimp safe.
So, what do you remember the dose for the levamisole?
So we're talking 3 mils per litre.
Okay, so really light.
Really light, yeah. And that's shrimp safe.
And that's Big L poultry wormer?
Yeah, Big L or the Panicure. If you're going to use Panicure, it's got to be the 25 strength.
Also, you have a bristlenose in this tank with your orange red tigers.
Yep.
Do the bristlenose eat any of the shrimp ever?
Some of the bigger females will eat babies when they're looking to breed. They'll take whatever protein they can get. But apart from that, I don't see the males harassing them too much. Pretty much all the bristlenose tanks have shrimp in them.
Cool.
Blue tigers, they look like they're waiting to be fed.
Oh yeah, they're awesome. These are so cool.
So yeah, there's blondes and blues in there.
I really like these tigers.
And you can get them up to royals, which are pure jet blue.
Do you have any food we can feed these?
Of course I do. I know a guy that makes it.
Yeah. You also have a shrimp food brand too.
Yeah, so basically I've seen a hole in the market in the industry for quality shrimp food. Even online, a lot of people sell what they call shrimp snow, which is basically horse food. So I started with that one, and we make it from scratch and add over 100 vitamins, minerals, nutrients and stuff like that. And then from there I've expanded into other foods, and we've just released shrimp pops about 6 months ago. So there's 5 different flavours or colours of them. Some of them for colour enhancing, other ones are for probiotic sort of effects, health and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone with an aquascape tank can stick them in the tank and it brings all the shrimp out. You can check the health, get photos, all that sort of thing.
How does the colour enhancing food work?
Everything that I do is all organic, human grade, using natural colour enhancers. So the red I use things like beetroot, astaxanthin, and in the gold, pumpkins and carotenoids and stuff like that. Mixed with other things, of course, to improve health and digestion and stuff. By having healthier shrimp, you have better coloured shrimp. Go with this one.
So this is, which food is this one?
This is Shrimpy Bits.
Mm-hmm.
This is all your main vegetables, broccolis and spinaches and things like that, peas, as well as spirulina and all the good stuff.
So how do you actually construct the food?
So I bring everything, either dry it out and bring it back to powders, and then bring everything back together, usually with water or a little bit of oils.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it's like such a different looking food too, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so
It's really cool. And they're straight onto it. Like, it's been 5 seconds and they've already found it.
it's stable in the water for up to 48 hours, so you don't need to pull it out, you just let it go until they finish their chunk.
That's awesome. So where can you buy your foods?
Food's only available through shops, so check your local aquarium. If they don't have it, ask them why. Apart from that, it's online at most stores that sell online now.
Orange, blonde tigers.
So they're the pure white one, just in there.
They're massive.
Yeah, the tigers grow big, really big.
So tigers, are they neos or?
They are a type of Caradinia, but they're a bit more forgiving.
Okay. So Caradinas get bigger than neos.
In the tigers, they do.
Okay.
Crystals, not so much, but yeah, tigers get massive.
Sick, bro. I love these. They're so cool. You got little blackworms coming out of your substrate as well.
Yeah, I always throw blackworms in. The females will pick at them.
Yep.
To get extra protein and stuff when they want it.
Wait, female shrimp?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so it also helps with the ecosystem. Like with the food, if there's any left over, you'll find that the blackworms will just congregate to that area and finish it off.
Yeah, I guess you could harvest them out if you had other fish.
Yeah.
So what's in here? Nothing? Just some bristlenose?
That's just some bristlenose in that one.
How many bristlenose do you reckon you can make a month?
300-400, up to size, no worries. I move them outside over summer. I produce a lot more because I move them out into the aquaponics. They keep the algae down in the tubs, and yeah, they just breed like crazy.
100%.
And this one is a green jade project. Bought some green jades, and in Australia, a lot of them aren't the highest quality around. Slowly culling them out and getting them better.
I've heard with the green jades that they are like bastard because they just go back to red or brown or...
Yeah, or blue. That's where the start of the Carbon Rilly project came from, is that tank.
Oh, so they threw it off Carbon Rilly?
Yeah. Oh, you probably see another one just in there. Little carbony looking thing. They're throwing a bit of everything at the moment. I've only been working with them probably 6 months. 2 years, we'll have some awesome looking green shrimp in here.
So it takes about 2 years for you to nail a line, basically.
Yeah, at least. You want to do at least 5 or 6, 7 generations. The big breeders overseas will say 10 generations, especially with like your pure red line, pure black line crystals. There's politics in shrimp.
Man, there is, yeah.
Along the bottom, a couple of birches, just something different.
They're so cute when they're this small.
I love them.
Yeah, I wish you could tell like on camera how small they are. So we've got a tiny bircher just staring at his prey over here. Another bircher here. So you got any plans for these tanks coming in the future?
I'll be separating stuff out soon and setting these ones up again. These will go with blues again, finally.
I've got a really good line of blues I could give you a few of if you wanted them.
Awesome. I always like getting different genetics.
Mine literally have bred pure for like the last 2 years. Like I've just got clear ones coming out, so you can have a few of them. I'll fix them up. For you now, this room that we're looking at and the tanks we're going to look at today, this is more your hobby.
Yeah, this is definitely the hobby and where I sort of test my foods against other people's and yeah, all that sort of thing.
So what else do you do for work?
I work at Mad Aquarium 1 day a week and then the shrimp food business. Since I started doing the food, I noticed myself moving more towards the industry side of things. And I like going in at least once or twice a week and talking to people at the hobbyist level, see what they like, what they're into, keep up with the fads and things that are changing. Yeah. Then we move to the fish side of things. So in here we have some OB peacocks. I don't really like the colour of, so I've put a male dragon blood in with them, or a couple of male dragon bloods, to try and get some more red through the OB colour. And then with the other ones that I'm doing with the blues, eventually I'll put them 2 lines together and try and have OB peacocks like we had a few years back. Another bristlenose growout.
Oh my gosh, they're everywhere.
It wasn't meant to be a bristlenose growout, but the male decided he wanted to breed in this bulkhead. So
really?
Yeah, he laid in the bulkhead and yeah, they hatched and away they went.
It's obviously an albino and a common that mixed together? Or?
No, so that's from the L144 line, so it'll throw albino, common and 144s. Only throws about 15% of 144.
That's really cool. I can't believe they would have bred in that bulkhead.
Yes, yeah.
That's insane.
I've been to an auction a lot of years ago where they actually laid eggs in a bag at an auction. That was down the Gold Coast a long time ago. Now these ones are a bit shy. I don't know how much you'll get of them. So these are short-bodied red Texas. They're 9th generation, so definitely able to breed. I've got 2 faded ones and 2 unfaded. Hopefully we'll have some more of them coming through shortly. Really hard to find red Texas, let alone short bodies in Australia. I wasn't a huge fan. I got them off of 40 of them off a mate and put them in the aquaponics and grew them out. And then, yeah, these ones started to pair up, so I brought them all in and thought, why not have a go at it, you know?
Yeah.
Something different.
That's what it's all about.
Down the bottom, we have baby yellowtail black ACI.
So how old would these ones be?
They're about a month old now. Tank full of multis.
Adrian would love these.
I absolutely love these things as well. They're so interactive and personable. When you've got a big group of them, the way that the different little colonies will interact with each other, probably one of the most entertaining fish I've owned, for sure.
Do you have something we can feed these?
Yes.
Oh man, they're feisty. So you obviously bred all these little baby ones.
Yeah. Oh, my daughter breeds them.
Oh.
So now she's got a tank full of multis and she keeps throwing them at me.
That's awesome. These just look so good on camera.
This is another black shrimp project tank.
So when you're keeping all your shrimp, what's the water parameters? Like what kind of water are you using?
I'll keep some in high pH, as you can see with coral sand. The ones in the main rack are all kept on low pH. You get less breeding with the Neos, but my tigers like it and I like tigers more.
So it's like a trade-off, kind of.
It is. To be able to keep both of them in one tank, it's a bit of a trade-off.
Yeah, yeah. How do you have soft water? You use rainwater or?
Yeah, so when I do my water changes, that comes from a rainwater tank out the front.
Because everyone's so afraid to use rainwater.
Yeah, a lot of people get worried about, you know, what's on your roof and stuff. I'll still treat it like tap water, so I'll still use prime in there. Because if you've had a lot of birds crapping on your roof or stuff like that, you're going to have ammonia in there. And
worms too, maybe.
that sort of thing, yeah.
And what do you reckon sells more? Like obviously Neos maybe.
Well, your standard crystal reds are probably still one of the best sellers, but number 1 and 2 would be your red cherry and your blue cherry. Everyone loves blue cherries. There's one of the 144s that come out of them commons.
Oh, you can see the shrimp are just smashing this food too. Look at the colour. That's so cool, seeing all that colour. He definitely wants to have a bite, hey?
Yeah, they the bristlenose love it, but the shrimp sort of fight them off a bit for it.
That's so funny. And this tiny little shrimp beat them to the food. Yeah, because the bristlenose that I've been feeding your food just love it. Like, love it.
Yeah.
So, is that everything you reckon in here?
That's pretty much everything in here, yep.
Come out. It's your outside area.
Yes. If you turn around, that's actually a bit of insulation I use over winter. I've just hung that on the end of the shed and it manages to keep the warmth in.
So is it just pool liner?
Yeah, that's just pool liner, but because it covers the whole opening, that traps enough warmth in to keep them sort of 23, 24 degrees over winter.
Do you use an aircon in there?
No, not at all.
Oh, it keeps that temperature?
Yeah. So a few of the tanks you'll see like had heaters in them.
Oh, so that'll be enough.
In the sump, I run 2 300 watt heaters, but that's 2,000 litre system. So the ponds. We have bristlenose and guppies in this one.
Yeah, you can see them.
Lots of guppies.
What type? Just
a red. They started as a red tiger endler, and I've just let them go. So.
And then you've got plants out the top.
Yes. So the plants grow out of the floating bed. Also, where it pumps out up to here, just some mint to keep the bugs away.
So mint keeps bugs away?
Yeah, it stops a lot of the flies and stuff when we're having barbecues over summer.
Really?
Yeah, man, they don't like it.
They don't like mint?
They don't like mint.
I actually, funnily enough, keep mint in the tops of my tanks now.
Yeah.
I didn't know it would keep the flies away as well.
Yeah, you'll find less mosquito larvae as well.
That's crazy.
That's the big problem with shrimp tanks, and another reason why I throw the birches in there every few months is mosquito larvae.
And then what's this pipe up here do?
That just runs off the roof. That's my water change pipe.
Oh, so you just wait for it to rain?
Yeah.
I love that.
So yeah, that fully self-sustaining.
I do love this idea too, like, you know, just use a bit of styrofoam sheeting, cut some holes in it.
Yeah.
Easy aquaponic.
And these are just the little cups you get when you buy plants in the shop.
Yeah, with a couple of rocks.
Yeah. Very simple aquaponic system.
And so the
don't
water...
do it with goldfish, I'll eat all the roots.
Oh, yep. Yeah.
This one here, another one Adrian will love, goodyites. Oh, there's also a Eliotti down there, living in amongst them. And of course, bristlenose in here as well, because it's summer, I move them all outside, or most of them.
So the goodyites are live bearers. We've looked at them in Adrian's room. So these breed out here?
Yep, they breed out there. That's why all the frog bit and stuff, so they don't hunt their babies as much.
Do you make many of these?
If you separate the females, you can get 40 to 50 per batch.
Yep.
But in here, probably 10 to 20 will have survival. The rest will get picked off.
They go all year as well?
Outside, yeah, they can go all year.
That's so cool. Yeah, you just don't see
They just don't. You get no breeding over winter. They'll start breeding again soon. The females, you can see they're starting to fatten up again.
Yeah, they're pregnant. So just a big guppy, basically.
Big guppy.
Probably a little bit less prolific.
Yeah, with the attitude of Mike Tyson. As normal, anywhere you can grow fish, you can grow food.
So how quick do these ones grow out in the sun?
Out in the sun, they'll grow a bit quicker, so I'll be starting to harvest them in about 2.5 weeks.
Are these bok choy?
No, they're just a standard sort of weird lettuce that the wife brought home.
Oh, yeah. And what's this one?
That's a spinach, so that's end of the season for that one.
Yep.
Normally that grows over the winter months. I use them for food as well. A
Like
lot of this,
to make the food, or?
No, for bristlenose. So a lot of the stuff that I'll grow out here will strictly be to feed the bristlenose, so that I don't have to buy bristlenose food.
That's a good idea. Yeah, because you could just chuck like a lettuce up the top of your tank and just pull leaves off it and throw it down the bottom.
Throw it down the bottom. Give it a little bit of hot water just so it sinks. And yeah, they'll go nuts for lettuce, spinach. I'd try and grow cucumbers and zucchinis and that sort of thing as well.
Awesome. You have also a massive tank over this side.
So this 5x2 that I use for grow out, pick and choose stuff out of there if I feel like breeding with it. So there's some dolphins and there's a king sizey, J-Lo reef, Capcomus azurus, a little bit of everything in there. Of course, being one of my tanks, there's 5 birches.
Wait, where? Oh my gosh. Hiding out.
There's another one sitting down the bottom down there.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're so cool. They're so prehistoric looking.
Being an African fish, I put some out here, and that's the next sort of grow out.
Birches, African?
Yeah, Senegal, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So they are a riverine species, but they have been found in the lake, and some of the species of birch are found in brackish water.
Wow, that's really cool.
While they're not eating, they just pretend to be a stick, and everything leaves them alone.
Yeah, and then once you start feeding them, different story.
Yeah, there's some of the baby Tropheus that my daughter bred last time.
They look beautiful. And manning the rock.
It's got my deformed mouth Lombardi, because I like to rescue things like that.
Sweet. And did you want to have a look at your aquaponics as well?
Aquaponics setup,
I'd love to look at that.
That's further up the back.
You also dabble in the aquaponics side of things too?
Yeah, so pretty much anywhere you can grow fish, you can grow food. So yeah, I love chili, and so I grow a lot of chilies and stuff. Also like lettuce and tomatoes, basic sort of stuff that we use over summer or winter or whatever. Pretty much a very basic system. The fish are kept up in here. I'm keeping Ranchu goldfish. Runs down through, that's the filter, and these two are just the water storage. So it comes from the main tank.
Yep.
Down into this one, and then down into this one where the pump is, and then gets pumped up through the system. I grow chilies in aquaponics, which a lot of people say you can't do, but as long as you have, I have my water level down a bit lower, so they can choose if they want extra water, they'll throw roots down to it, and if not, they'll keep their roots near the surface. As you can tell, I use a bit of everything for media.
Whatever.
Yeah, it all works the same.
Should we look at your fish?
Yep. If you can see them. Oh, look, there they are.
Oh, yeah, you can actually see them.
There's some ranchers and some comets and stuff in there. These ones actually bred not too long ago. I didn't realise until I moved them out of the system that we just looked at and found some babies. So,
incredible. So what's up here? Just
up here, this will be, I'm just letting it grow some algae, and I'll throw some Brishmanes in here in the next couple of days. Oregano starting to move over.
So can you grow oregano with wet feet?
Yeah, so you can pretty much grow anything. I've grown carrots in aquaponics. It's all about the amount of wet time and dry time, and yeah, I'm growing dragon fruit there in aquaponics.
Oh yeah, I was wondering what that was. It just looked like you were growing a succulent, but it is dragon fruit.
Yeah, that's a dragon fruit. And then I've got some...
That's such a weird fruit. Like when I've had it, you expect it to taste a little bit better than it does.
Yeah, but when you actually get them not from a supermarket, they taste like this, but they're like they look. They taste a lot better. I've got a passion fruit there just starting up. So the passion fruit will grow over here over the summer, and that'll provide the shade for this end. Leftover spinach.
So spinach is more of a winter thing?
Yeah, so as you can see, it's starting to die off, and as it's getting hotter. Red flowers are a must in aquaponics because they bring in all the predatory wasps that eat the bugs that eat your plants.
Oh, okay.
Everything here is organic. I've got a pesticide, you can try it if you want. 100% organic, you can eat it.
Really?
Yeah.
What is it?
Mix of herbs and spices and stuff like that that kills pests.
Wow.
Yeah. And I've just brought out some cucumbers, getting some new orchids to attach.
Oh, yuck. Look at that thing. You might not find it yuck. I hate spiders, man.
He's awesome. He is helping the ecosystem.
I know he is.
He's a beautiful part of the ecosystem.
As long as he's not in my bedroom.
This is something a bit interesting that I found at a mate's place last week. That's
weed.
Loafer plant.
Oh, okay.
So it'll actually grow the loafers that your wife uses in the shower.
Oh, yeah?
It grows the natural version of them.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, I'm going to propagate some of them and start growing them. So every bed will fill up to a certain extent, and then through the flood and drain system down there, once it gets full, it'll start pumping the water out and it'll empty the whole bed. Just runs off air vacuum system.
Yep.
That's how you can grow like root vegetables and all that sort of thing, just by having different timing in how long it takes them to fill and drain.
Sweet.
I've got a mate experimenting with sand that actually grows corn and bananas and everything in it. That's insane what you can do.
This is really cool. I really appreciate you letting us come into your home and record some of your fish and your shrimp. So where can everyone find your shrimp food?
Any good aquarium shop, Nick's Keepingfishsimple is a great place to get it. Yeah, 100 stores around Australia, so have a look at your local. If they don't have it, have a look online, and they definitely will.
And it's all still handmade by you at the moment,
all
isn't it?
Still handmade by me and my mate Dean, who you met earlier.
Yep.
Yeah, he actually got half a day off to help me clean the fish room, so yeah, we make it all. I want to try and keep it that way for as long as possible. That way we can keep the quality up.
And all natural ingredients.
All natural, organic, Australian, so I work with Australian farmers and stuff. Nothing's imported.
Perfect. All right. Thanks so much, Mick. I really appreciate it, man.
No worries, mate. Good to have you around.
All right. Sweet. Thanks, guys.